Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ben Andrews, and today we're going to be talking about three concepts in doctoral level writing. Writing at the doctoral level can be a daunting task, but with the right tools and understanding of these key concepts, it's possible to produce high quality professional level writing. As a note, while I'm talking, it is important to pay attention to what conceptions you may be bringing into this conversation. Often students attempting to write in a scholarly fashion or at the doctoral level force their work to sound academic or formal or sophisticated, which ends up sounding forced and difficult to read because it's not in their natural writing voice. So, with that in mind, the first key concept, which is probably more important than any other writing concept, is clarity. You'll also see that the next two concepts after that I'll review: academic conventions, and originality. So let's talk about clarity first. In doctoral level writing, it's important to communicate complex ideas in a clear and concise manner. You should avoid using jargon or overly complicated language that might confuse your reader. Instead, focus on presenting your ideas in a way that's easy to understand. Making complex ideas seem simple is actually a truer sign of mastery over content than overloading your writing with jargon and complex terminology. There are many resources that can help you write clearly, but one that I have found very helpful is this screenshot that you see, Style, The Basics of Clarity and Grace. It's a short book but has a wealth of great information on how to write well in it, so highly recommended that you pick up a copy and use it as you're navigating your doctoral level writing assignments. The second key concept here is to follow appropriate academic conventions in your writing. This will be something you will learn over time and with lots of practice, but unlike more informal types of writing, academic writing requires that you abide by certain conventions so that your scholarly work has similar guidelines for engaging in the conversation with other scholarly work. These are kind of agreed upon ideas in the academic conversation on a topic. For example, academic writing requires that you cite sources appropriately and give credit to the scholars whose ideas you are referencing when you are discussing ideas in the research that are not yours. In this way, you are engaging with the academic conversation on a subject while giving credit where credit is due. You can see an example of this in the screenshot. One thing you'll notice is that there are in-text citations supporting the claims being made by this scholar in the sentences. This is probably a clear example of when you can understand the difference between scholarly writing and non-scholarly writing. If it has citations like this, it's a pretty clear indicator that these are academic conventions being used in a scholarly conversation. Another example of some academic conventions in writing is writing that acknowledges the limitations of the evidence of research. It does not lean on hyperbole or broad generalizations. Academics are very sensitive to testing assumptions and critiquing ideas that are established on a shaky conceptual foundation, so they will jump on these missteps quickly. This will take time to learn, but if you need an example of what to avoid, if you have ever had an uncle at a holiday gathering who starts a sentence with, "There are two types of people in this world," you know what broad generalizations and hyperbole sound like. Avoid this kind of writing and look for what evidence there is to support your claims. This is a pretty key concept in academic and doctoral level writing. The third key concept I'll talk about today is originality. This is the biggest difference between doctoral level writing and other writing you have done so far. In your work as a doctoral student, you are transitioning from a consumer of information to a producer of information. Doctoral level writing should demonstrate your original thinking and ideas. This doesn't mean you have to come up with something completely new, but you should be able to contribute to the existing body of knowledge in your field. Use your own words and ideas to support your arguments and add to the conversation in your field. But also make sure to abide by the first two key concepts as you do this. Make sure it's clear and also make sure you cite other scholars' work appropriately. These are just three key concepts for doctoral level writing. There are many more, but these three are a great place to start. Remember that writing at the doctoral level is a process. It takes time to develop these skills. You'll learn many of these skills through receiving feedback and revising your work, so be open to hearing ways you can improve and lean into revision as the primary route to getting better as a writer. This is something that is often one of the biggest missteps I see for doctoral students, is a belief that they will get it right the first time. So remember that part of this process, and a key part of this process, is accepting feedback and using it to revise your work to get better as you go. Be patient with yourself, and also don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.